Hey, you guys, Sean with Go Gloves here, and welcome back to episode 5 of my podcast, Spittin' Seeds. Today's guest is a college pitcher at Young Harris College and a baseball content creator, Michael Bice. How you doing, bro?
What's up, guys?
All right, dude, I'm super glad to have you on. Grateful because it's Thanksgiving. Gotta be thankful for everything. Oh gosh, my power almost just went out.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Dude, that was crazy. It just flickered all of a sudden. To anyone listening on the podcast, they're gonna be really confused. But those watching on YouTube will be they'll see it. Anyways, I just have guests on here to come and talk to my audience and give their story a little bit. So you being a baseball player, what was your story like kind of growing up, Little League to where you are at college now? What's that been like for you?
Okay, well, I guess we got to go way back, right? So I guess I started, I think I was probably 5 years old when I started. Started the local park, which for me was like Mount Perrin. It's just this Christian organization park. Worked up through there. And then I think when I was 7 or 8, I did my first summer all-star team. And then when I was 10 years old, I switched to year-round travel ball. And when I was 10 to 15, I played on one team for 5 years straight. And those are still some of my best friends to this day. We stuck together. We had 10 guys on the team for 5 years.
That's dope.
And it was really awesome to experience that age from 10 to 15. That's you're a kid to high school baseball. That's a
the
big
golden
deal.
years.
Exactly. It's the golden years.
That's childhood.
Exactly. And to have the same guys around for that long was awesome. And in fact, again, like I said, those are also some of my best friends. My dad was a coach as well as some of my other friends. It was all the dad coaches back in the day before you had paid coaches.
Yeah.
So I guess, so there to there. And then, high school came around, and that was when I started playing elite travel baseball. That was when I made the switch to East Cobb.
Okay.
Which is, the prestigious Cobb. Went there. I played a lot with the East Cobb Dodgers, A-Tech, Astros, Colt 45s, the whole 9 yards there. And then college.
Nice. So you're at Young Harris College right now?
Yep, Young Harris College.
Nice. You're a right-handed pitcher, and you've been there. Are you a junior now?
So this is where it gets fun. So academically, I am a junior. I think after this semester, I have enough credits to be a senior, and then due to redshirt freshman season and COVID, I will be a freshman on the field.
Holy cow. So what does that even look like? You can play for 4 more years and then get drafted or whatever?
I don't know exactly how everything's going to play out. I have 4 years of eligibility.
That's cool.
I could stay all 4 years if I wanted to. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. The original plan was to do 5 years of school. I'm not sure if I will do 6. That seems like a little bit of a stretch for me, especially now that I'm actually ahead.
Yeah. What are you majoring in at there?
So right now I'm a business and public policy major. It's kind of like a critical thinking business degree. Yeah,
I'm doing business as well. So that's dope.
Awesome. I can tell you're definitely business geared.
Yeah, big business guy. What was your recruitment process like for getting into college?
Oh gosh.
So I was never good enough to have that, so I've always been curious.
Yeah, no, it's a fun and also really frustrating process. Recruiting's a weird thing. I went from a very average ball player, freshman, sophomore year still, I wasn't the kid that was 6'5" at 15 and was throwing 95.
Yeah.
So junior year is when things started to click for me. I started to throw a bit harder. I was throwing some upper 80s. I was on a team that had other guys getting recruited, so that certainly helped me a lot.
For sure.
So early it was junior years when I first, hey, there's a coach here, there's a coach there. And that was when I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to play college baseball.
Yeah.
And senior year, so through junior year, I had, again, a lot of coaches that talked to me. Not many coaches were like, hey, man, this is the offer. Here's the pen and paper.
Yeah.
And then it was fall of senior year when Young Harris finally reached out to me enough to get me on campus, went through the full process, and they were like, hey, man, we really do want you.
That's dope.
This is it. And I was like, I'm taking it. I love it here. So,
yeah.
It was a great decision. I really do love it there.
Yeah, it's important to find a college that fits you. Like, you can go anywhere you want for, like, if any college offers you for baseball, like, that's great, but like, you want to have fun.
Yes.
Like,
No,
you want the
I
experience overall
can't
to be good.
emphasize enough to have, like, you know, there's always that like D1 or bust mentality,
Yeah.
and it's not right, man. Because like for me, like I'm probably never gonna go pro, but I get to play 4 years of what I love, and I get part of my school paid for. And
Yeah.
I had some schools look at me that were, you know, like bigger and like the more prestigious places, but I didn't want to take that. I wanted a school that had a very small classroom. I wanted something fairly close to home.
Hmm.
And I met all those requirements instead of just saying, oh, well, I can go this place and I'll get all the dope gear and I'll probably never play.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much better to play than to just like ride the bench for however long.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I have a few friends that play like community colleges or like smaller D3s or JUCOs, and they're having a blast there. They're getting playing
Yeah.
time, they're getting reps, they're having a ball there.
Most of my friends who are playing JUCO D2, D3, D9 are probably having more fun than my friend playing D1.
Yeah, like if you're having fun, that's like, and also like you said, you don't plan on getting drafted or like you don't think that might happen. But if that's not the goal for everyone, then like just go and do what you love, like have fun and just like
Exactly.
be
Like I'm a
yourself. And,
realistic person, you know. I'm a
yeah,
great ball player, but I'm 6'1", 180 pounds. Like I'm
yeah,
21 years old. I'm a little past the prime, or I should say, I'm a little past the scout size, you know.
yeah, a little behind the curve. But
Yeah,
I'm like 5'7", 145, so I was never even close.
is what it is. How old are you again?
I'm 18.
You're
I'm a
18. Okay,
freshman right now in college. Yeah.
awesome.
I've had my deal with injuries in the past. I know you've had Tommy John on your elbow. So going into college with like an injury like that, or being in college with an injury like that, what is that like? And how did you like deal with the recovery? Because that's a big deal for a ball player.
Yeah. So I mean, I would never wish injury upon anyone, even my worst enemy. It's no fun.
Mm.
Thankfully, Tommy John can, you know, build people up. I think it's a good time to take a step back, really evaluate what you want to do with your life. You want to keep playing, but it's time to hang it up, or if this is going to be like, hey, this is where I start really hitting the gas pedal and
Yeah.
playing baseball the right way. So for me, I was senior year of summer. Had just a little bit of irritating pain. I really didn't think anything of it. Was feeling great one day, went in to close a game, and it started to hurt just a little bit. And I was like, well, I've
Hmm.
only got one inning, you know, so let me kind
Yeah.
of work through it. I think I got like 2 outs, and then I finally threw 2 or 3 pitches that it was like, okay, this really hurts, and pulled myself 1 out from ending the game. And I remember like everyone was like, that can't be good.
Yeah.
I never complained about my arm or anything. So it was senior year of summer when I tore my UCL. Went to the doctor. They said I had a partial, like I had a strain.
Okay.
So got to college, started throwing again, and unfortunately, it was not a strain; it was a tear. So I had to go through the whole doctor process again, got another MRI,
Jeez.
and came back and I had a partial tear. With
Okay.
partial tears, you usually either have like no surgery or surgery, and you can do like PT, one or the other. I had a pretty good tear, so I opted for surgery, but I actually had a friend who does elbow surgeries. And I reached
Oh,
out to him and was like, hey, like, can you take a look at this? Yada, yada, yada. And he was like, you might be a great candidate for my surgery. I'm like, all right, what's
yeah.
your surgery? And I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's this new method called internal brace. An internal brace is for players who have had partial tears in the UCL, but not quite full. So
Okay.
instead of like going to my wrist or hamstring or knee or wherever and getting a new ligament,
Yeah.
they used the same one I had, and they took the best way I can explain it is like they took the aglet of a shoelace and put it over my tear, and my
Huh.
UCL then grew into it. And so I had Tommy John, but I call it like Tommy John's little brother.
Yeah.
It's a little bit quicker of a recovery instead of like, you know, a
Okay.
year, 16 months. Mine was like 10 to 12, give or take.
Yeah.
So I did save a little bit of time and a little bit less pain. So
That's dope. I'd never heard
yeah,
about
so
that.
it was, sorry.
I'd never heard of that like type of surgery because I've had friends that
Yeah.
have Tommy John. That's cool that you got to do something like that.
Yeah. I think when I got the surgery, there was only like 500 people who have done it. And then now it's a fairly common thing. It's a lot more relevant now that it's been 2 years since my surgery. I've actually met some people who have had it with that same doctor. So it was kind of cool being kind of like a pioneer for the surgery.
Yeah, that's dope. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had a torn cartilage in my elbow. So there was like a chunk like this big that like came apart in between like these two bones right here. Yeah. And my surgery was pretty new. It had only been done for like 5 years. And basically they took like someone else's cartilage and like basically like grounded it up and like made it like a paste and then like put it into my elbow. So like took the chunk out and then put the new stuff in. And that was like crazy.
Ew. I wish the people on the podcast could have seen my face right there. I was,
yeah. They will on YouTube. They'll be able to see.
Oh, that's right. YouTube and okay. That's right.
YouTube and Apple Podcasts. But I was going through like PT and then all the like other like physical trainers were like coming up to me. They were like checking it out. Like one girl like had a college project and she was like, "Can you be like my like
Can I do my project on you?"
Yeah, basically she was like, "We have to show like an experimental like surgery or whatever. Can you be like my like the story that I use?" I was like, "Sure, whatever." Like that's signed awesome. A waiver or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was crazy because I got the throwing program I got was a Tommy John surgery like throwing program. So like pretty much everything was the same. I had the same like arm brace like.
Oh, you get the brace and everything. I've got mine sitting up here.
Yeah, mine's like in my closet on the top shelf or something. Yep.
I don't know if you can see it, but I got it right there.
Yeah, mine's the exact same one.
Kind of like motivation.
Yeah. Well, I know you're Tommy John survivor because you have that in your Instagram bio. Yep, survivor. It's not that it's a deadly surgery, but I love that saying. And I know that because it's in your bio of your Instagram, Beauty in the Game. It might be in your TikTok as well. I know you do a few pages. So tell me about that. Your page is called Beauty in the Game, which is a really cool name. So how'd you come up with that and what made you want to do content?
Okay, yeah. So my page started, I think it was like 2014 or 2015. And I kind of like started up out of nowhere, kind of threw some stuff up there. And then I was really inactive on it for like a really, really long time. Mm-hmm. And I kept going through social media and like, I was just so sick of the same content being posted by reposting pages 24/7. We've all seen the video where the guy at Tennessee bunts and the guy doesn't tag him, and he, it's like the same home runs, the same bat flips. I'm sick of it. So I finally was like, I've got funny content. I think I can do it better. So I started to work a little bit harder on like content and posting like my baseball life, just because I lived in East Cobb where I get to play the highest elite baseball possible. I get to play at Lake Point. I'm going to college. Like, I have a really cool baseball experience. So I wanted to share that. And I thought I could just do better than everybody else. So I started working on social media. And the name Beauty in the Game, it came from, have you ever seen the movie For Love of the Game?
I have not.
That is the most underrated baseball movie of all time. It's a great movie. I thought it really highlighted like the parts of baseball that only a baseball player will understand. Yeah. It's a baseball player movie. It's not like, it's a movie about baseball. Like or a movie with baseball. It's not like $1 Million Arm where a non-baseball person would love it. This is a baseball player movie. And it had just some amazing quotes. I've seen it 100 times and I kind of wanted to build off that. I always thought baseball was like the most beautiful sport ever. I think it's the hardest sport. It's the most elegant. It's the most complicated. It takes a specific person to be able to play it. I just thought baseball was beautiful. And I said, I wanted to show the beauty within baseball. So it became Beauty in the Game.
I love that. Yeah. You talked a little bit like seeing other people do what you're doing now and just thinking like you could do it better or in a different way or something that's innovative. Like I've really taken on that mentality with like my glove page. Cause like no one does a lot with gloves or they're like pretty inactive, like only posting like once or twice a month where like I'm going hardcore at it. Like,
dude, your TikToks literally make me laugh out loud every time. I think every time you post one, I'm immediately sending it to my dad.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's my biggest page for sure. Like if anyone's not on TikTok, like they definitely need to be because it's so easy to grow on there. And like you can get so many so much stuff on there.
Yeah, my TikTok has definitely helped my Instagram too. I kind of use it
Yeah.
as the backgrounds.
Yeah. Well, I put one of my TikToks on the Instagram Reels now, and it got
Yeah.
like 200 something thousand views. Like I got so many followers. It was crazy.
I was scrolling through your page the other day, and the also one that
Yeah.
cracked me up. So you had a ton of views on that at the time.
Yeah. That's the one that went off. It was like, and I wasn't expecting it because it didn't do good on TikTok, but like dude, it helps a lot because you have to put out content like
that's
all the time. Like you have to be so active.
With all
like
social media, but especially with TikTok.
Yeah, like I try to do like a TikTok a day, like 2 YouTube uploads a week. Like it's really a grind. Like I hate so like cliche, but like it really takes a bunch of effort to do that.
You're 100% right, and your stuff is so quality. Like you're gonna blow up, dude. Like literally, I saw your page and I was like, you only have this many followers? Like I thought this kid had like triple me. Because I see your stuff everywhere and it's hysterical. Or it's just really quality. Like your glove photos are great, your glove videos are great. Like dude, and also everything you do is really, really good.
Yeah, same for you. That's why I want you on here. Like you're getting brand deals and stuff now. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool to like help out companies that are like maybe not just starting, but they have like products that might not be like, because hopefully one day I'll have a product of my own.
Yeah.
And my opinion is valued, and that's just a really cool feeling. So
yeah, like it's cool to know like you're actually making an impact, because right now there's not a big like financial gain from it. So like to get the DMs that say you got me into baseball gloves, or like I really like the videos that you make, that like goes such a far way.
Oh,
like I don't think people realize like
the best thing ever is, so you mentioned earlier before we started recording that you've been in the Better Baseball, and that's where I work. And this summer I probably had 30 or 40 people come in and be like, dude, are you Beauty the Game? And like that just blew my mind when there's like little kids like, yo dude, can I get a photo with you? And I was like,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking about the first time like someone recognized me in public. Like I don't know what I'll do.
Dude,
I'll be like, you really want a picture with me? Like there's no way.
Yeah, it makes you feel like a celebrity. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why I'm mad I wasn't there the time you came in, because I'd have been like, yo, we got to get a photo.
For sure. I see you got your glove on now. I know you collect a little bit. Like you have a pretty good collection of mostly pitcher gloves.
Yeah, I have a pretty good collection. I never like went out and was like, oh, I'm going to collect the most rare gloves. But like over time I would like buy a glove and I was like, it's too pretty to use. So like I would get lucky and like I'd win a contest, and then I started working at Better Baseball and it was like, oh, well, that glove's super cool. Like I get a discount. Well, I can justify that purchase. So yeah. I've got, depending on like how many you really want to count as like gloves versus like, oh, just I have that glove.
Yeah.
I've got like 10 or 15 right now.
That's dope.
So I've got a solid collection, but yours is, dude, that Lone Star.
Oh yeah. It's pretty nice. And being from Texas, like that actually means something cool.
That's awesome. I was going to ask if you were from Texas because my dad keeps doing business there, and I was like, that love is,
yeah, born and raised. I've been here my whole life, so
that's awesome.
What do you get hooked up with gloves at your college?
So because we're a D2 school, we don't get a ton of like, we don't get the D1 treatment per se. We have a Rawlings deal, so we do get Rawlings customs. They're discounted for us instead of like totally free or paying full price. And they're pretty awesome. I have not gotten one yet. My dad, through high school, the joke was always, when you commit, like I'll buy you a custom glove. And by the time I finally committed, I already had a lot of gloves. And he was like, oh, well, how about I'll give you your graduation present. So I'll probably get one next year. Cool. And I'll frame it in the whole 9 yards.
Nice. But you don't have to use wrongs. Like you can use whatever.
Yeah, because they're not free, we can use whatever we want. I'll probably be using I used a Marucci last year. Okay. I actually have a 44 on the way I will probably be using. So I can use whatever. That's
cool. What's your favorite one? Because you said you had like 10 to 15.
Dude, okay, so I'll show you my most recent. I'm proud of this. If you remember, Glove Cowboy did that really cool what do you want to call it? Like contest for glove designs, and those people who won, we got our glove for free, and it came in just the other week. It's a Marucci Cypress. It's just black and blonde. It's super clean.
Nice.
The way this glove feels is like probably top 5 I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, it feels really good. This is like they started making the M type, so it
Okay.
doesn't have the thumb or pinky loops.
Yep.
So have you ever had a C mod?
I have tried one on, but I've never had one.
Okay, it's definitely not a C mod, but in a way it feels like a C mod. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a less extreme way of the C mod, and it's awesome. So
it fits like a glove.
I've got the JL that has my custom logos on it. It's
that one's really cool.
That one's really cool. To like see your own logos on something is awesome.
Yeah, so, for sure. I want to do something like that.
Is that your logo on your hat? No,
that's Coachella gloves.
That's Coachella. I was like, wait, that's not yours.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I would always want to do merch, but like you can't really do it unless people are gonna buy it. So like until someone reaches out and be like, when are you dropping merch, then I'll consider it.
Yeah, it's like merch is awesome, and like a lot of my family and friends use it, and I've had a few followers buy them, but it's not where you're gonna make business most likely.
For sure.
That'll be like a little side thing you do, but it won't ever be like, oh, let me come up with a dope shirt so I can go make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, no. Like until you really get a good following, like it's not realistic.
Yeah.
Last thing, I've loved the conversations we had so far. I always ask my guests this question. It's the last one. With the current climate of the MLB, not many people are happy with Rob Manfred. So I think honestly anyone else could be a better commissioner. So if you were to step in, what's like the one thing that you would change like instantly? Be like, this is so wrong right now with the sport. Like that's like the first thing you would do in office.
Okay. Well, I think the really obvious one that everyone's thinking is like Astros cheating scandal. I would really want to establish the respect that baseball needs.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, I think they should have been punished much worse. I think that blows my mind. You're disrespecting the game. I really mean that. And it hurts my heart that happened. As a pitcher, I would much rather throw against somebody who's juiced up that knows what pitch is coming. So that's the really obvious one. Yep. Second, get rid of the drop third strike. That is the worst thing in all of baseball. I cannot stand that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Your first take was funny because I live in Houston. Like,
yeah,
I'm
that's right.
An hour from the stadium, so I'm an Astros fan. Literally, I'm wearing a 2017 championship shirt. No, but my take is really funny on it because like I'm a baseball fan before like I'm an Astros fan because I'd rather see the game thrive than my team.
You could not have said any better, man.
So for me, I think because I actually did a project on this in school where basically I went through the history of the MLB and all the cheating scandals, and like for steroids, everyone knew it was happening and they didn't do anything about it. So now it's still happening today. Most recently, Robinson Cano. Yep. So like they didn't do anything about it, and it's hurting them today because players are still doing it. To where I think if you take away that World Series championship, as much as it hurts as a fan of my own team, I think if you take that away and ban some of the players for half a year or a year or some kind of thing, because
something
they did like they're basically punishing themselves because they're giving them information to. So you can't ban them for life. But
no, I definitely wouldn't say that extreme. I just think the fact that they walked away almost clean is pretty crazy. Now, with that said, I think the fans took a toll on them.
Yeah, I am fully in support of a better punishment though. And I think I unfortunately think it's too late to go back now with like if a new commissioner came in. Like that was Rob's job to cut down on them like right then and there.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I was almost a little bit happy to see them do well this year. Like it hurt me, but it made me happy just because, you know, there's those MLB players that you fall in love with and that you want to support, and then something like that happens, you're like, oh crap, I can't be that fan. But then you do well and you're like, okay, like I'm almost happy for them. It's such a weird line, man.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I've been watching these players since I was like 8 years old. Like Jose Altuve, George Springer. Like I like grew up with them, and I've
those are
seen
your
like,
guys.
yeah, those are my guys. And like,
Yeah.
I felt betrayed when this all came out. Cause like no one knew it was happening, especially
Yeah.
not the fans. Like, so, I mean, seeing these guys do good without any help, like it made me happy for them because they deserve it now. Like
Yeah.
all the money they're
After what they
making.
went through, it was from the fans.
Yeah. It's a tough situation to be in. And like, they got really lucky that there wasn't fans this year.
Yeah.
Extremely lucky.
Extremely lucky.
Man, I've loved these conversations so much. Shout out all your Instagram and stuff, all your pages, and let people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, Beauty in the Game, mostly on TikTok and Instagram. Have a Twitter account. I'm kind of starting up also. So
Cool. Dope. Do you do YouTube at all?
I do not. I really need to hop on the YouTube train. I've been planning on it, but I've been waiting till I have more time. So
Yeah.
probably after college, or maybe even this summer, I'm gonna kickstart that.
Yeah, COVID did me well because I got like online classes. Like I got plenty of time to just make content right now. So I've been like going pretty hard over this few months. Well, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Appreciate it, bro.
For sure.